Hello, I'm Paula Tomlinson, founder of On the Spot Accountants. I'll be taking you through an introduction on how to produce a cash flow forecast. Let's get started. Plan. What is your business plan for the next 12 months or 24 months? Don't worry about your business plan or a budget or a forecast. Just prepare something that has some sort of shape to it that is your best guess as to what might happen. Everyone knows that they will be wrong, but they give you something to work with. How many sales do you expect to make and at what price? Perhaps each week, each day, depending on your business. What costs are needed to deliver those sales? What will your product cost? And what costs do you need to incur anyway? So looking at your sales, how many do you expect to make? There may be seasonal factors, particular events happening. So maybe Christmas and Easter are important, maybe end of quarters are important, depending on what business you're in and at what price and each week and each day. So again, depends what business you're in. You may need to drill down to each day. Other businesses may be satisfied with planning their sales for the week. And identify when you should get paid, but allow for the fact that you'll be paid late, so that you need to build in a certain prudency into your figures. So it will allow for slippage. Include VAT. Remember, your customers, or most of them, are going to be paying you VAT, but you don't need to pay it for 1, 2 or 3 months to HMRC. So you get to hold on to the VAT for a little while. So there is some cash in your bank account until you need to pay it over to HMRC. What costs are needed to deliver those sales and when? What is your product price per sales unit? And obviously multiply by the quantity. Don't forget delivery costs to deliver the product to your client, and include VAT again for the same reasons. You often will be paying VAT out. You get to recover that later in your VAT return and offset it against your sales VAT. But in the meantime, unfortunately, you've got to pay that out. And when are you due to pay your suppliers? You might start off with the due date. If you see a problem, you can contact your suppliers and ask for some delay, but obviously needs to be considered at the time. Then unfortunately, there's a whole list of costs that you need to incur as a business. They will be incurred at different times. Insurance might be a year ahead, rent might be each quarter. But before you make any sale at all, you are likely to have to incur most, if not all, of these costs. Never forget tax, of course, along the way. And software, there aren't many businesses who can't live without software. Often you're going to have 1 or 2 members of staff. Maybe your marketing and training is more flexible, but probably short-sighted to cut back too much on that. You can see that there's a whole list of costs not to forget about. So here's an example of a 12-month cash flow forecast. You can see at the top there, month by month, you've got your cash sales. And indeed, loans received. So this business is receiving some loan money. And then you've got the whole list of payments. Unfortunately, the payments is always the longest list. So month by month, you can see, so for example, month 1, we have a loan coming in of 16,000 and the cost total 62,000. So there's a cash flow deficit. This might be all fine. This is predicted. Month 2, there are some sales coming in, and you can see that they gradually grow over the 12 months. So sales of £10,000, but costs are still high at £30,000 or payments, total payments. So that's another cash flow deficit for the month. So accumulatively, you've got a cash deficit of 66,000 from month 1 and month 2. And you can see at the bottom there, there's a changing closing cash balance depending on what's happening each month. If the sales changed, you would change this accordingly, and they are likely to change. So what you should do is revisit this regularly, perhaps every month, and make sure that the numbers are as correct as they can be, so that you know how much your deficit is at the bottom and that it's funded correctly and planned for. Thank you.